Welcome back. In this lesson, I'm going to be answering frequently asked questions when it comes to natural hair growth. So I'm going to answer the most popular questions, and if you have more questions that relates to hair growth, leave it in the comment section below. All right. So what is the average natural hair growth rate? Like I said earlier, it's anywhere between 0.5 to 1 inch, right, per month. That's how much your hair can grow. For some people, it's more. For some people, it's less. Again, you can increase this rate or you can optimize this rate by eating healthy and making sure that you are exercising and that your body is good, right? Because we all know by now, when your body is under stress, it's not getting enough nutrients, it'll affect your hair growth rate, right? Because your hair growth factory is not receiving all the nutrient it needs, right? To be able to keep producing healthy hair, right? The next question, how can I grow my baby and toddlers hair? So sorry for all the text here because I wanted to make sure that I answer everything. This is probably a blog post, two blog posts on its own. But just to summarize, so baby and toddlers, so their hair grows in the same way as anybody's hair, right? But what, as a parent, what you can do will be to help your baby to grow more hair and to also retain length. So for your baby and for your toddler, when they sleep at night, you can have them sleep on a certain bed sheet or pillows, right, depending on the age of the child. And since our hair normally grows while we are asleep, and babies, they grow while they are asleep, right? And fortunately, the good news is that babies, they are always sleeping, right? Meaning that's a great opportunity for the hair to grow, right? But the position that they sleep in while they are asleep, it's very crucial, right? So it's usually recommended for babies to sleep on their chest rather than on their back, right? When it sleep on their chest, they can sleep better, sleep longer, which means more time for you to get things done, right? So when they sleep on your chest, their head, their entire head, it is free, like there's nothing blocking it. And as a result of that, their hair can grow out and it can grow longer. But when they sleep on their back, that's when sometimes they might end up with bald patches on the back of their head, right? So you maybe try changing the position that your baby, you know, sleeps in, and also changing the fabric of the bed sheet and the pillowcases. Now, for toddlers, it might be a little bit easier because you just put on a satin bonnet for them, and then you can put in like a satin bed sheet, and also the same thing while they sleep at night. But the only thing is that for toddlers, they can actually move around, right, while they sleep, right? But with babies, they just stay there, right? So, and also to reduce breakage, for your baby, it's best to create a moisture focused regimen, right? And never, ever, ever comb your baby's hair while it is dry. You always want to make sure that it is moisturized. And lastly, whenever you style your child's hair, make sure that you are very gentle. Make sure the hair is always moisturized. And right now, just use your child's hair. Do not use any hair extensions because hair extensions can dry out the hair, right? And finally, any hairstyle that you do for your baby, make sure the maximum length of time that it stays on for is maximum 1 week, right? Meaning maximum 7 days. So that way you can get to a deep condition and wash your child's hair at least every 7 days. Next question that I've seen asked very often is why is the hair on, let's say, my left side is longer than my right side, or sometimes it's the opposite, right? So as we know by now, our hair growth cycle, each follicle would have its own sort of hair growth cycle. So the hair on your edges, right, has a completely different hair growth cycle. And so that's why your edges can never grow longer than a particular length, right? When you compare that to hair on your crown, your nape, and other parts of your head, right? So what you can do again would be to change the way you sleep at night. So if you are the type that you always sleep on one side, right? Let's say you only sleep on the left side, right? That's going to affect the hair that grows out of that side. So what you can do would be to just change the position that you sleep on at night, or best sleep on your chest, right? Because again, when you sleep on your chest, your entire head, your entire scalp, it is free to grow out as much hair as it can. Because when you sleep, let's say on your back, or you sleep on your left side, right, you're blocking hair, right, that should be growing out of that side of your scalp, right? So maybe try sleeping on your chest at night, so at least your hair can grow, at the rates that they are supposed to grow. Now, the next question that I get asked very often is, why is my hair not growing? Even though you just told me right now that our hair, it is constantly growing. All right. So if you notice that your hair is stuck at the same length for several months or several years, what you need to do will be to check your hair regimen and your hair habits, right? So in a previous lesson, I talked about factors that affect hair growth, and I also shared some length retention tips because I said that your hair is always growing. The fact that you don't have any bald patches on your head shows that your hair is actually growing, because if you have any bald patches, that means you probably need to go see a doctor about it, because your hair, it's actually not growing. But if you have a head full of hair, good news, good news, good news, your hair is growing. So keep calm and carry on. So what you're gonna need to do in this stage will be to have a moisturizing regimen. So again, I have a couple programs that focus mainly on moisture retention. So I have a 7 days to moisture retention email course where you get one lesson per day over 7 days long. And then I have my premium program, Moisture Retention Blueprint, where I dive into more detail about dry hair and how to create a moisture focused regimen. And as we know by now, retaining length means breakage control, right? Breakage control. Just keep that in mind. Breakage control. Actually, if you can just type that in the comment section, that would be great as well, right? Retaining length, growing long hair means breakage control. And that really is the key to length retention and the key to long hair growth. All right. The next question that I get asked very often and is very popular is, terminal length. Does terminal length exist? What do you think? The answer is yes. Terminal length does exist, right? Because when your hair gets to this stage, the last and the final stage of the hair growth cycle, your hair will shed. It'll just shed off, right? Like it'll just leave your scalp, right? Because your hair has reached its last bus stop, right? So it'll shed off. And also, terminal length is another reason why hair on other parts of your body, such as your lashes, your brows, can only grow to a particular length, right? Because I've never seen anybody with hair lashes down to their back or something. That's that's gonna be very scary actually. But sometimes, in case you notice again that your hair, it is stuck at a particular length, again the same thing, one thing you need to do will be, again, check your regimen, right? And if you don't have a regimen by now, I do have that free 7 days moisture retention regimen that you can download completely free of charge.